My claim to fame, I like British superbikes, and literally Brands Hatch isn't far from here. And
are we locked out? So we're in Dartford at one of Darren's SA management properties. We've got Darren here. He's going to show us around the property and explain exactly how this one works. So hi Darren, good to see you again.
And you, mate. Nice to see you down here.
So show us around the property.
Yeah. Lovely little townhouse here.
I like the fact that it's got the old porch.
Especially when it's windy like today. Straight into the lounge. It's the style of house, these little townhouses. Seating for 5, which will give you an idea of how many this can sleep. Smart TV in the corner, obviously.
Like this?
Yeah, nice. This was refurbed by the landlord. Landlady operating it is his daughter, basically. So into the lounge diner. This one also benefits from a little bit of outside space. We'll have a look in the kitchen first. Nice little kitchen, functional kitchen again. You know, not too much stuff in there. Toaster, microwave as normal. Got the tall fridge freezer in there. And then I'll show you outside while we're here. Little garden.
Table and chairs, bit of fresh air.
Yeah, that's it. Nice bit of greenery. If they choose to have a smoke, they can.
And they've got an outside loo.
That was an outside loo, yeah.
Shall I follow you up?
Follow me up, yeah. So this one, because of its location, is more geared towards the contractor market.
Yeah.
Not to say it can't have a family in here, but obviously
single beds.
We've got single beds where we can and separate them for that. Not many contractors like to share, but if they do, it's up to them. So yeah, 2 heads in here.
Interesting with the old-fashioned properties, the stairs really steep, narrow treads, stepping down, stepping up, all the sorts of things that modern houses wouldn't be allowed to do, but it's an existing property, so perfectly okay, isn't it?
Style in this area, yeah. And then again, double beds. These ones are slightly wider than in there because it's a little bit of a larger room, and the little side cabinets just to put their phones or wallets and bits and pieces on.
So that there, you've obviously got a little padlock on that.
That's clean linen. There's a mirror cupboard to that downstairs, which has the dirty linen in it, basically.
It's important to keep it locked because otherwise guests are going to go in there and take out more linen, etc., etc.
Yeah.
And also, you can't trust guests not to take it, fold it back up and put it back in.
No,
so you've got to keep it locked.
Functional bathroom. This is an interesting point, actually. When the landlady was refurbing it, I said to go with these aqua panels because they're a lot easier to maintain than tiles with grout lines and bits and pieces.
Yeah.
So, and they go on a lot quicker.
They look quite nice these days. I remember when they first came out and they were just looking really, really rubbish. I pushed back on them, but nowadays they actually look pretty decent, don't they?
One more room. Large double room. When we come up here, this had wardrobes along here. It looked really cramped, but again, removed the wardrobes, put in hanging rails on the wall to make it look bigger.
Got these
child safety
ones, yeah, so kids can't get out.
Then a little workstation there as well, but I think the chair's been taken downstairs. Well, I would say a make-up table, but certainly not for the contractors.
You get families, large family groups as well, so yeah, they've got the option then, haven't they?
Well, this would suit as well for like the insurance claim market.
They might have had a flood or a fire or something like that. Then there's also when people are having renovations done to their property, significant renovation, they can't go and rent anything. A service accommodation property is an ideal solution for that stopgap. I'll tell you the other one as well. I don't know if you get many of these types of bookings. When people are selling their property and they can't move into the next property yet because there's been some sort of delay, then service accommodation is perfect for that type of guest.
And that obviously saves the chain breaking down, so we're estate agents' friends.
So you've mentioned contractors quite a lot in this one. Is that your main guests that you're getting?
For this one, for the location, yeah, because we're literally near to Blue Water and there's a lot of...
Blue Water is?
Shopping centre.
And the contractors like a bit of shopping?
Yeah, that's it, exactly that. Yeah. No, they're doing the renovation, they're renovating all the toilets and bits and pieces there.
Yeah,
so.
Okay. You mentioned the pub just up the road. Is that a bit of a draw for them?
That is 100% the draw for the contractors.
How long are they booked for?
Pretty much since day one we opened this up, we've pretty much had the same contractor in for that period. So there's a couple of gaps where they've gone back for the weekends, coming back 2 weeks, going back 2 weeks.
So it's a firm?
Yes, this was one firm. The same guy has now said that he's got a 26-week booking, which is effectively 6 months, I believe. But they want to come Monday to Thursday. They're going home the weekends, week in, week out.
But you're then free for the weekends to
Yes.
take probably more leisure guests over the weekend?
Yes.
So contractors, a lot of people overlooking the value of contractors as service accommodation guests. I mean, let's face it, this is what I call a bog standard inner city terraced property. A lot of people would think that, okay, well, that's not going to work as service accommodation. People have this perception, don't they, that service accommodation is fancy penthouse apartments, you know, in central London. I know you've got properties like that, but also properties like this work very well, literally because of contractors and trades. We're in Dartford. It's not a tourist destination, Dartford. I mean, your main guest avatar is contractors. You just need to consider what is going on in your area that's creating demand for SA guests. And in this instance, the type of SA guest are contractors. So don't overlook a property like this when it comes to service accommodation. They're cheaper to buy, they're cheaper to rent, and they work very well as SA. So we've done some top tips in type of properties that work as service accommodation. Let's talk numbers. So an SA management property, therefore you didn't need to pay rent or deposit. So literally a no money down property deal. Long-term guests in the property, all you're doing is cleaners are coming in, and then it's available at weekends for leisure guests. And so what sort of profit are you getting in each month?
So on this one, on the long term, because we've gone direct as well, the initial booking come through one of the OTAs, I can't remember if it's booking.com or Airbnb now, but obviously then we communicated with the guest after that, realised they wanted it for long term. So we've omitted the OTA fees. This is literally netting me now probably in the region of 500 a month.
How long in are you now?
I think we're just coming into our 4th month now, I think. So.
Okay, 1,500 quid profit so far?
Yep.
Not bad for putting no money into a property. Did the owner have to do anything? Because they've obviously got to spend the money to get it ready.
When I come to see the landlady when we was here, we had a quick walk around and had a discussion on what needed doing, and literally she done the refurbishment, kitted it out, put all the furniture in, ceilings and bits and pieces had to come down, and replastering was done, new bathroom was fitted. I think from memory she'd spent just under £10,000.
They spent 10 grand to get it ready, and it is now good to go, and you're getting bookings in. That's a company that's providing those contractors. Any other business going on there?
He loves the accommodation we do here, he loves the condition of it, he loves the way we deal with him. He's now offered us basically a 6-month or 26-week booking here, and potentially 26 and more for the other group of lads that are also coming down, so I need to find another house.
It's a really good problem to have, obviously, when you need to go shopping for property to accommodate the booking that's already lined up. But it's so much easier to approach a landlord or a letting agent and say, can I take your property on a company let to use for my client, and you can just name drop the client as well who you're already accommodating, and you could even say to that landlord or letting agent, would you like to come and see one of my other serviced accommodation properties, so you can see the standard, you can see how we are keeping the property. So that's a major win-win for all concerned there, and it makes it so much easier to acquire properties, right? So the landlord, how did you meet the landlord, and why was she happy for you to take on this property to manage as SA?
Through one of the progressive events, we've met up, we've been introduced to each other, we got to talking about serviced accommodation. Turns out she lives up north and she had no one in the area, and just reached out to us and said would I be willing to sort of manage it, and she wanted to show her dad that SA worked, and subsequently that's where we are now. So
okay, cool. So you met her at Progressive.
While we're there, the actual guy who's given us the contractors is from Scotland. Ironically, got a property in London himself. He's seen what we're doing here, and he actually wants us to run his property as well for him. So I'm actually going there tomorrow morning, and I'm just literally going to have a quick nose around and see what I think needs doing. Report back to the guy, and that's through a booking. So you never know who you're talking to, basically.
So Darren, well done. You've done brilliantly well, and I love to see that you're thriving, your business is growing, and you're earning some really good money out of serviced accommodation. It's just brilliant to see. Really.
No, that's thanks, and that means a lot coming from you, Kevin, but it's all down to your guidance and training that we've spoken about and dealt with in the past. So
you know what, you're very welcome, Darren. You can lead a horse to water, you can't make it drink, and you're an action taker, and so I take my hat off to you, absolutely.
That means a lot, thank you.
You're very, very welcome. So if you've enjoyed this video, and if you want to learn how to do what Darren has learned how to do, building a serviced accommodation business, then why not download the free report? Somewhere in this video there is a link, it's an ebook to help you start and scale your serviced accommodation business. And if you've enjoyed the content and the information in this video, why not like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you on the next one. So from me, Kevin Poneskis, take care, and here's to your success in serviced accommodation.
My claim to fame, I like British Superbikes, and literally Brands Hatch isn't far from here. The guy that's third in the championship stayed here. And I was actually camping with the lads that we do every year at Brands Hatch, and obviously once I realised it was him staying here, I was like, he couldn't do us a favour, and we got into the pits. Just shook my hand and said, yeah, go and have a look at the bikes. So the
That's where
advantages of
service accommodation gets you, right?
Exactly.
You never know who you're going to meet.